Welcome to Ask Dr. Lori Live. I'm Dr. Lori, the expert PhD antiques appraiser, and my guest and I are going to talk about art, antiques, and collectibles. We're going to talk, remember, everything that's coming in is not vetted. I don't know what's coming in. Everything is new to me. I don't know what they're bringing in. And here's my first guest. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori. How are you?
Hi, good. I'm Winfred, and I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Winfred. Nice to see you. You live in Pittsburgh? Oh, I don't have your ear. You're here. What happened to your audio?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay, it's like that commercial. All right. What's happening, baby?
So,
Tell me about this piece. This piece is beautiful.
Yeah, I went to an estate sale about a week and a half ago, and I saw this. And there was a label that said, like, bronze from Benin.
Okay, a Benin. So bronze from Benin, meaning the country Benin, basically the Benin bronzes of Africa.
Yes, that's what I think. So I was really drawn to it. I thought it was beautifully done. And
yes,
thought I got a decent deal, so I bought it.
Okay, great.
But I don't know much about it, so that's why.
Okay, can you show me the underside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, let me.
Heavy, right?
Super heavy.
All right. Okay, and now put it down so you don't get hurt. Put it down, put it down.
Oh.
Okay, and then a side angle. Give me a side shot.
Yeah, and it's about 12 inches tall.
Okay. All right. Cast bronze. A couple of things. If you don't know something about African sculpture, and this particular piece we're going to talk about in a minute, but if you don't know something about African sculpture, the Africans, basically the Benin and many of the people are, in fact, very well known for their masterful sculptures in bronze.
Yeah.
So a lot of people collect those. This particular piece is a very nice piece, and this particular piece is probably made in France. So yeah, it's probably French. I'm not surprised that it would show up in a place like Pittsburgh because, of course, of the great Carnegie Institute. And that's why, because there are lots of folks who would be, of course, collecting, who are very well versed in the arts, who would automatically recognize this type of piece. Is there any marking on it at all?
No, I've looked for markings. I've tried to feel for marks, and I don't really see or feel any at all.
If you're looking at bronzes and you're trying to figure out about marks, I want you to look on the underside, and I want you to look around the base. And even if there isn't a base that is bronze, I want you to look around the bottom of the piece. So that would be the end of the neck, right? So that's what I want you to look for. And that's true of any bronze that you want to look for. Who's looking on? Who's your onlooker over there on the side?
Oh, that's Jessie. That's my wife.
Hi, Jessie. How you doing, sweetheart?
Good, how are you?
Do you like this that he picked up?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful too. Why? Proportions, okay? Her face is beautiful. A real person, she'd be beautiful, right? So proportions are what you want to look for in sculpture, and you also want to look for these types of pieces. So a heavy piece of bronze like that, French, probably 20th century. So after 1900, definitely after 1920, 25 even. I'd put it sometime between 1925 and World War II, like 1940. And value on that piece, $5,000.
Wow. Oh my
How about it? Yeah. I keep telling you to look for fine art. It's based on actual sales records. A piece of bronze like that is done by a quality sculptor using quality materials, right? Like, again, Benin pieces, Benin and bronze from, of course, Nigeria are going to be very, very valuable. What did you pay?
Well, I paid $220 for it.
So did you think that was really a lot of money? Did you go, oh my God, $220?
Well, so it was a 2-day estate sale. I went on the first day and it was $395, and I was like, and I offered $300, and it was too much for me. So I went the next day, hoping that they would still have it, and then I offered $220. So
and then they took it.
Then they took it. So
yeah. So a couple things happening. Estate sale people unfortunately didn't know what it really was and what it's really worth. And then the second thing that happened, of course, was that, in fact, you were able to, of course, negotiate it down. So good for you. Good for you. I'm so happy.
Thank you, Dr.
It's really my pleasure. I'm guessing that maybe you watched my Real Bargains video recently where there was a beautiful bronze sculpture that was found in a thrift store that I featured. Maybe that's what made you look for bronze sculptures, or maybe you're just always looking for great sculpture. I'm happy to see that. Congratulations to you guys. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori. How are you? What's your first name?
I'm Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
I'm from Canada, and I have a vase here.
Okay, nice, pretty.
from my father-in-law, who got it from his mother, who got it from her aunt.
Okay, father-in-law, his mother, and aunt. Okay.
It's, oh, is this going to work in this camera? Let's see if I get close enough. It does say hand-painted Nippon on the
It's
bottom.
a hand-painted Nippon, and there is a wreath mark, and then there's an M in the middle. Do you know what the M is for?
Muto Brothers or
Very
something?
good. Moramura Brothers. Very good. You see a lot of that because a lot of people go, how is this Noritake? And there's an M. Shouldn't it be an N? And why is it Nippon? Isn't it an N? So yes, the M is correct. So that's fine. So
Okay.
how tall is your piece? Let's see your piece. How tall is it?
10 inches.
10 inches, hand-painted. A little bit of gilding as well.
Yeah, at the bottom too there.
Okay. All right. It's a nice piece. Let me see the back. Because you're showing me the front. Let's see how much painting on the back. Oh, no painting on the back. Nothing. Little tiny blue flower like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Right? So the really high quality ones and the really very high value ones usually have a lot of painting on the front and the back.
Okay.
That's one of the ways you want to tell. Also, the color of the mark will help to date the piece. And I like to tell you what to look for because, of course, a lot of you are on my channel because you know I'm going to teach you things that you can use. So that's part of it as well. So it was just handed down in the family. How long have you owned it?
5 years now, maybe.
Do you like it? Does it go with your furniture? Does it go with your decor? Or is it kind of too frou-frou?
It doesn't really go with anything I have right now, but
do you want to sell
it? The genealogist in the family, and I like to keep the heirlooms and the photos and the family history and that kind of stuff.
So you're kind of like, well, let's find out a little bit more about it. So, okay. It dates to the early 1900s, and it is hand painted. It's a nice piece. I value on it about $200 for that size and that execution. It might be worth about $250 if it had a little bit more painting on the back based on actual sales records where similar pieces have sold, right? And that's people will say, oh, well, I've seen them selling at X in this place, and I've seen them selling much lower. Well, guess what? You know, you don't always buy and sell things in the same place, right? So that particular piece really quite nice. You know, it's kind of like you don't buy the laundry detergent at the butcher. So this piece I would probably not be selling on one of those low-end online websites or at a yard sale, for example, to get top dollar.
Right.
It, of course, is porcelain and hand-painted, made in Japan. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sure. So a lot of fun, a lot of things here. Don't forget, again, I'm going to get to as many guests as I can. So those of you who are like, oh, Dr. Lori, you know, if you don't know how to get in or you're not sure about getting in, you must be on YouTube and you must go to the community tab. There is a link right there at the community tab on YouTube. So that's how you will, of course, get the opportunity to be in the lineup to be one of my guests live. Happy to have you. Hi, it's Dr. Lori. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Lori.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Hi. I'm calling from Texas.
How are you? What's your first name?
Deborah.
Deborah. Okay, let's see. What have you got, Deborah?
I have this painting I bought at a thrift store about 7 years ago.
Painting, thrift store 7 years ago.
Well, it's art. I don't know if it's painting or whatever, but it matched the decor.
It matched the couch. If it matches the couch, everybody wants it, right?
Yes. So,
okay. You got to back up, baby. You're way too close. Can't see the whole thing. Okay. I'm glad you're all loving that you're learning, and I'm happy, of course, to accept your video chats, your super chats and your super stickers. Oh, okay. So I see. All right. Does it have any kind of marking on it, any kind of signature, any kind of numbers?
Yes, it has numbers on it. It's like, and the signature on it is Stan Farland, I'm thinking.
Okay, we're not sure. All right.
And it has a lot of different little writings on it, and it has like N equal N, F, stuff like that.
Okay, so what you have is actually called a mixed media work of art. So that means where they take different types of media and they utilize it. It's not only oil on canvas, it's not only a print, but it's a print with some highlighting. That means it's mixed media. Mixed media is kind of a catch-all term. A lot of people use it, and they use it for anything. When they don't know what it is, a lot of people will say, oh, it's mixed media. But in fact, mixed media is a very specific term, especially in works on paper, right? And that particular piece, of course, a work on paper where you have some elements that are, again, hand highlighted like pigment and others that are printed on using a machine. So pretty nice. Wow, almost almost broke that. Pretty nice. And a lot of you are waiting for me to like with my hands talking with my hands to do that. So if you're laughing, that's fine. Anyway, this particular piece, how big is it? Is it 28 by 20 by 28, 22 by 28?
28. The picture is 28 inches long, 17 inches wide. The frame is 32 by 28.
How much did you pay for it? It's worth $150. How much did you pay for it?
I have two of them.
Okay, how much did you pay for whatever?
$12 for the
You pay
set.
$12 for two of them?
For the set, yes.
So $6 for one to make $150? That's a bargain. Good for you. Thanks very much. A lot of things that I want to remind you of when you're looking for these particular pieces, you have to start to identify what the material is, right? Now, I can understand it's a little bit difficult for you to go, I don't really know, I'm not really sure, but there's a million of my videos out there that all you have to do is watch them, and I'll explain to you, again, what you should be looking for. And how do you do it? Remember the loop that I keep talking about? It is helpful. Many of you are getting back to me saying, Dr. Lori, the loop opened up a brave new world. One of the guys actually said to me, Dr. Lori, you know, you actually allowed me to up my game in selling because I know what to look for. I know how much I should spend for it. And then I can actually resell it. So I'm glad I'm up in your game. That's why I'm here. You know, I'm the expert who's going to teach you this stuff. So if some of you are shy or some of you are, you know, you can't get in or you're having some issue and you want to do a video call with me, you certainly can. It's very easy to do a video call with me. All you have to do is you have to go to, of course, the shop and specials page. If you don't know how to find the shop and specials page, it's at the top of the website at drloriv.com, and you just hit the red shop, specials and shop. Or if you're on a smartphone, you go to the menu, and then that's hamburger menu, that three little lines. Click on that, and that will bring you to the same specials and shop if you're on a cell phone or a smartphone. And that'll take you right down there. Scroll down the page, you know, use the scroll down the page, and you will actually be able to find all the things that you need. Recommendations, shopping. And if you want to, of course, book a video call where it's one-on-one with me. And a lot of people like this because I have made one of the very special video calls, and we've made discounts are on that specials page for the video calls. So you can have a one-on-one with me. Dr. Lori, I don't really understand. Can you explain it to me? Dr. Lori, I've got these 3 items, and I really want to know this. So that's basically what I'm doing. Yes, Mick, I am talking with my Italian hands, and I almost lost that plate. So that was close. But anyway, I do that all the time. Some of you are laughing at me. Thank you, Barbara, for the super sticker. You're like, hey, that was worth me doing a super sticker. Dr. Lori's going to break something on the set. Well, I hope I don't. Anyway, Lori, thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. And of course, I appreciate all of you watching and sharing too. And, you know, if you want to do a video call, a lot of you, I even had this again today, a lot of you are shopping with me during the video calls. So you can shop with me as well. You know, I had one client who almost walked by. I had to stop her from walking by this Majolica plate when she took me shopping with her in her favorite thrift store. And she was going through with her cell phone and showing me the images and showing me. And I said, where are you going? Go back. And actually, she was able to get that piece of Majolica, which is pretty valuable for a song. So I was happy to help her do that. Here's my next guest. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hey, the New England Patriots.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Are you from New England? I'm from New England.
No, I'm from Canada, actually.
Okay, well, you're close.
Yeah.
In proximity, I mean.
We're actually.
How are you doing? What's your first name?
Brian.
Hi, Brian. Nice to see you. Who's with you, Brian? You got her right
my
on.
wife and my daughter and my boys.
Hi, I helped him get.
Hi.
Yeah.
I like the way everybody kind of
My
comes in.
sister up in way north in where the heck she at again?
Williston.
Oh, Williston.
Williston Lake.
Williston Lake. She's watching.
Okay.
She's
Great.
one that
Well,
started
it's nice to see all of you are watching from near and far.
This
What have you got?
I don't know if you can see it. It's called The Middle Five.
All right.
Francis LaFleche.
All right.
Okay.
How'd you acquire it? Yay, Canada. Oh, Canada. Okay.
Yes.
What is this?
That. Okay. You'll see that it's signed and dated
Okay.
December 2000 or no 1900, and that's when this book came out.
Okay. Can I see
And
the
this is a
title
reader.
page? Can I see the title page? What do I need to see? The title page.
The
Open the
title-
book. Get to the title page. You know, I've seen a lot of books, right? A PhD, a
Yeah.
lot of books. So, right. Title page. The middle 5. Okay, 1900. Boston Small Maynard and Company, good. La Flèche, okay, next page, keep going. I want to see the next page. Take your time. Okay, nope. I want to see that page. You got to hold it this way. There you go. There it is. I'm sure there's a woman involved who's helping you do this, Brian. Is that right?
My daughter.
Yeah, something tells me there's a smart woman in your life. All right, you can close that. Okay, so what you're saying is I have the first edition of this particular book.
Yes,
Here's what I want you to look for with any books.
Okay.
First of all, do you notice the red all around the border of your book?
Yes.
You notice that? All the way, can you show it to the camera, Brian? Can you work with me, Brian? There we go. Okay, and then what you've got is, every time you open it, you devalue it every single time.
Well,
Brian's like, hey, people have been devaluing it a long time. But anytime, don't break the spine, because the spine you want to maintain to be strong, right?
The spine is all in place.
That element that I was talking about, that red element all the way around, indicates that when the publisher did it, they had a lot of respect for it and put a little bit more money into this book than other books that they were publishing at the time. So that's an important sort of elite element. The other thing about it is you do have a decorated cover. This is all what to look for, people. So you have a decorated front cover. That's another aspect of this particular piece. Have you looked the piece up online?
Can't find anything online as far as there's new. This book is still sold.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure.
We've never found a signed.
What do you mean you can't find it? When you Googled it, you didn't find it? So you didn't do too much research on it.
Not a signed original 1900.
Not a signed original. Well, it's not signed by the author.
Yes, it is.
Okay, show me that signature.
It's a signed.
Show her the signature.
You were saying it was signed in 1900.
Yes, December of 1900, and that's when this book came out. That's when he was in his book sales.
Well, that's wonderful. All right, so now we've got a different situation. So, because I was understanding that it was just someone had signed it in that same year as the book was done. Great, so that's wonderful. That's going to increase value pretty significantly. Value on the book, $175 in that condition. In excellent condition, you're going to see it. In excellent condition, you're going to see it anywhere between $250 and $350. So I'd say $175 for yours. Okay. Now, how do you keep it? How do you store it? How to preserve it? You can go to my shopping page. You can get a Solander box for it, right? Which will preserve it. Or if you don't want to buy an actual box for it, and you're thinking, oh, I might resell it, I want you in the meantime to lay it flat on its back, not upright. Thanks very much, Brian. He was fun. I like Brian. He's got a lot of women helping him. He's a good guy. Anyway, also, I want to remind you that lots of tips and lots of information. Oh, I love you from Alabama. Bama. A lot of information also on my newsletter. And my newsletter, of course, will help you. It comes out tomorrow. So you want to go to the website, drloriv.com, and subscribe to the newsletter, sign up. It's easy to find it. It's at drloriv.com. And it's the free button. You can see it. It's a thumbs up because we all like free. It's a thumbs up. And you can, of course, find it right there. If you look at the bottom of the shops and special area, after you hit the menu on your smartphone, go all the way down to the bottom, you can see the free thumbs up. That's the menu logo that you're looking for. That's actually the icon that you're looking for. Go there, put in your email address, and then you're going to be on the email list. You've signed up for my newsletter, which will give you a lot of information, all different tips and deals and information about how to make money with your art, antiques, and collectibles. And the new one comes out tomorrow. What else comes out tomorrow? The premiere of tomorrow's Real Bargains video. I know you love it. That's why I do it. The Real Bargains video. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about these real bargains that were found by people like you at thrift stores, at estate sales, at yard sales, at antique malls, in grandma's attic, in your aunt's basement. These pieces that we're finding all over, and I'm going to feature them there. Old Man and Woman Farmer, possible Capodimonte. The details are impeccable. Goodwill in Texas. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much for your super sticker. I want you to think about a couple of different things when you're looking at Capodimonte. Capodimonte, of course, can be marked, and Capodimonte style pieces can be beautiful, wonderful, impeccable, no chips, no cracks. It's that heavily applied ornament of Capodimonte. Some of it is unmarked. So you want to be careful of that too. Now, just because it's unmarked doesn't mean it's not valuable. I just want you to be able to recognize it. So it seems like you've recognized it. I need to see a picture of it. I'd like to see not only the mark, but I'd like to see the way in which the whole piece is presented. A lot of you are more focused on the marks than you are on actually the whole piece. So you need to see the whole work of art. It's called the total effect in the history of art. You want to see the whole work of art. You want to see the total effect. You want to see it from the back and the front. You want to turn it. Not only focus on, oh, you've got to look at the mark, okay? Hi, I'm Dr. Lori. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Heather from Canada.
Hi, Heather. Nice to be with you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How can I help tonight?
So when I was thrifting, I found this for 35 cents. I thought I might use it. 35 cents Canadian. I thought I might use it for crafting.
35 cents Canadian is you know what in US dollars?
25 cents, maybe a quarter.
Okay, maybe a quarter. Okay, and you got this.
Okay. So it is a 1979 Magic Kingdom guide.
Okay, so this is, you could get this map if you went to the Magic Kingdom. You're at Disney World?
Yes, Disney World.
So you're at Disney World and you're in you're in Florida, and it's
1979.
It's 1979. And so you'd bring this home, and some people will actually frame these. I once appraised the map of the United States by Walt Disney. It was beautiful. And it was actually from the 1950s, and they actually framed it as opposed to, in fact, utilizing it that way. So a lot of times people will use these printed materials, these advertising materials, these maps that are basically for you to enjoy the park as works of art, because of course people are great Disney collectors. I have a good friend actually in the Pittsburgh area who's a great Disney collector. Okay, so you got this piece for 35 cents. Okay, so you already know that you're winning, right? You already know that you did great on this.
I figured it's Disney and it's vintage, so maybe it's worth something more than 35 cents.
Okay, so I mean, you have to know better than that. I mean, if you've been watching my channel, you know that for 35 cents, that if it's vintage, if it's Disney, if it's a nice pull, if it's not damaged, water damage is the real problem, right? If it's not acid burned or water damage, it's not faded from the sun because it didn't stay in Florida, hopefully, right? It got its way to Canada somehow. So that's a pretty nice piece. So how big is it? Did you have a chance to measure it?
No, but it's about 4 feet by 3 feet, I would say. There is a little...
Approximately 4 by 3. Okay. Yeah. Is there any other kind of information about the printer, or is it just Walt Disney?
I think it's just Walt Disney. There is there is a little bit of, there's some along the creases. Yeah. There's a little bit of tearing along the creases.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's my yuck. I hate that look. Yeah. All right. So a couple of other things. Did you look at it with a loop? Did you take a loop and look at it with a loop?
Oh, Dr. Lori, I have your loop, and I didn't bring it with me when I went to the
shame on you.
I know.
Oh, come on. You've got to have it in your purse. You got to have it on your person. And the reason why I want you to do that is because I want you to educate your eyeballs. Every time you look through that loop, you get closer to identifying the pieces correctly. It will help you every single time. So try to bring it with you if you can. Value on that piece in the condition it's in, which I'm going to give it good condition, right? I'm going to say there's small little tears maybe on these creases that you're talking about, but that's still good condition. It looks pretty bright. The pull is crisp. You know what that means? The pull is crisp. When it actually came off the machine, it was crisp. Nice piece. Value on that piece, $350. Nice. Unframed. For 35 cents, what is that? Is that 1% or a 0.1%? I don't know. I hate fractions. Anyway, it was a very good deal at 35 cents.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Now, you have to think about where out there, she has to think about where out there and who are the people out there who are going to pay, right, that for that Disney piece. Okay. So you've got to really think about that, and you've got to work on that. You can't just go, I'm just going to sell it anywhere because, it's Disney. You have to make sure that you are getting to the Disney collectors who want that piece, who say, the first time I was there, for example, it was 1979 and I used that piece. You got to connect it if you can. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Dawn from Chicago.
Hi, Dawn. How are things in Chicago? Good. Did spring come there yet?
Yeah, we got flowers.
Hey, flowers work. My favorites, I like crocuses and I like Gerber daisies. So if any of you plan on sending me flowers, those are what I like. But in the beginning, of course, of spring, crocuses come out. So those are fun. What kind of flowers are in your bed?
Tulips, daffodils.
Nice. Yeah, I planted 250 tulips a couple years ago, and the deer where I live, the deer ate all of them. They didn't care about my knees. They didn't care about me gardening. They didn't care. So I stopped doing that. Anyway, back to you. Tell me, how are you doing? What have you got for me?
Well, I have one small piece of a large collection, and that's my question. I have my mother's Renoir Matisse collection, and there are approximately 400 pieces.
Okay, you need to do a priority. You've got a lot of pieces that need to be appraised, right?
Right. So that's my question. So do I try to sell these as individual pieces, or would it be better to sell it as a full collection?
Yes, individual pieces.
40 sets within that. So
okay,
I have no idea.
So the set should remain intact, right? The set should remain intact, and then the actual collection. You know, it's hard to break up the collections. First things first, if you loved your mother and you want to keep some pieces, choose the pieces you want to keep those, and then start. Sets should stay intact, okay? And then what I would do is those sets should be sold individually. Or if you have something that doesn't have anything to do with the set, maybe just a pair of earrings on their own, then those have to be sold. Or maybe just a bracelet on its own, then that has to be sold individually if you want to command top dollar.
Okay.
Okay. And remember, there's lots of great resources on the YouTube channel here and also on my website and my blog about, of course, specifically Matisse and Renoir costume jewelry at drloriv.com. So talking about different ones, that's fine. If you want an appraisal for all of them, there's lots of ways to do this for big collections. There's, of course, the video chats where you can have whole collections done for a half hour, an hour, that kind of thing with me on the phone. I go this and that and this. You could do that. Or you can also do the priority service where you're uploading photos, which is unlimited objects. Either way, I try to make it as cheaply and cost-effective as possible for you. And the specials are always on the specials and shop page. You want to talk about this particular object? Let's do this one while we're here.
So this is marked Matisse.
Yep.
You can see the enamel, and then you can see the detail in the center here, which is also on the sides, which is really pretty.
And it opens with a hinge. With a hinge.
Yep.
Where is the Matisse mark?
In here.
Okay, good. So typically when you have higher end pieces, that's where that mark is going to be on a cuff like that. I was talking about jewelry on another video, and basically I was opening up these diamond and 14 karat white gold earrings, and that's where the mark was as well. So usually the higher end pieces, when they have a hinge, will be right there to hide it. So it doesn't have to be on a post on earrings. It doesn't have to be in the area where, of course, the bracelet is decorative. So that nice enamel can be done pretty well. So that piece dates middle part of the 20th century, and value on that piece, $185.
Okay, that's more than I thought. So that's the problem I have too, is I don't know which pieces are more valuable than others.
That's why you have to have them all appraised.
Yep.
Get on the website, I'll help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's very hard when you have a big collection, but again, I make it easier because I want you to understand what you should focus your time on, right? So a lot of people say, oh, okay, well, I don't have the time to do all of them. How do I focus? So I can do that too. I for a lot of people who are doing all different kinds of things, if you're looking at, I don't know, marbles or Beanie Babies or a big costume jewelry collection or artwork or whatever it might be, then I want you to, of course, let me help you to say, okay, let's not bother with that because that's a little bit inexpensive. Let's start to focus on the expensive stuff, and then you can make decisions. AJ, thank you for your support. We collect the marble etched stones, Polar Pear, Missouri Steamboat, Lincoln, and Alaska Wild. Value. Okay, well, first of all, I need to see them, right? So I need to see them. I need to see front, back. I also need to see, in fact, the way in which these pieces are within that collection. So again, you have a big collection. You're saying, I have these specific pieces. Certain ones are going to be worth a little bit more or a little bit less at certain times, right? So anniversaries have something to do with that as well. And to know the value, I need to know more specs about the piece. How can you do it? Send a photo to drloriv.com. It's very simple. And I'm the person who looks at all the photos. You know, today I was on a video call and someone said, well, did you see my photo? I said, yes, that's why you're at this stage. I saw your photo and there were certain things that I had to do in order to identify it properly. So we're going to do a video call so you can understand that. Thank you very much for the super chat and the super stickers. It supports the channel and it helps everybody else. I'm so happy to have the guests, and I know you all love the guests too. So thanks for being with me. I'm Dr. Lori. What's your name?
Hi, Dr. Lori. I'm Brian. I'm from Central Missouri, and I saw you
Hi,
about
Brian.
6-7 years ago in St. Peter's.
Oh yeah,
I saw you here in St. Peter's about 6-7 years ago.
One of the big appraisal
So
events.
Well, yeah, I was. I had a baseball that was signed by the St. Louis Browns a long time ago.
Oh, that's
Hey,
nice.
I've got two 18 by 24 painted glass items that I believe are Korean. They have Seoul Korea or Seoul art glass on it, a little sticker. And I cannot find anything with them.
What do you mean you
about
can't
them.
find anything with them? So this is
I
I hear
have
this
been
all the time.
researching.
I hear this all the time. I
I've
can't
been
find
search-
anything. I can't find anything.
Well, I've been searching Seoul Art Glass Company. I've been selling Korea art glass paintings. I've been searching China paintings, and I can't find anything associated with them.
Okay, so you can't find something similar when you Google it. Is that what's happening?
I just can't find anything on them.
I know.
On any
What are you doing?
search
I'm
that I've
talking
done.
about methods, Brian. So my point is, when you're Googling on the computer with all these things that you're telling me, this list of things that you're putting into the search engine, it's not coming up. Is that the problem?
That's correct.
Okay, so you're looking what you have to do is you have to drill down. You're looking too broad. This is going to help all of you. So you're looking too broad when you're doing this. Methods are very important. You've heard about this, research methods. And this is this is why I'm different from everybody else. I'm not just Googling stuff. You have to know how to actually do the research. And that's what I'm offering you here. Those particular pieces are made in the 1960s and the 1970s. And those particular pieces are made by a company that is then bought out. So that's the other problem. That's why you're not finding it, because that company actually is merged into another company. And that company now is basically gone, sort of gone away from the internet, because that company was purchased out in the 1980s, right, prior to the internet. So now no one cared about it to actually list it that way. You're probably one of the few people who have that piece, who's looking for this, and one of the few people who have it with that particular mark on it. How big are they?
I'm sorry.
How big are they, Brian?
They are 18 by 24.
Okay. And I would say they're not a pair. They're just made by the same outfit, and value on them anywhere between $150 and $250. I would probably put the one that's more dramatic, the second one that you showed me, in the $200 to $250 range, and the other one's worth a little bit less. The one that's sort of all different things happening, a little too fussy. So show me one and I'll tell you what that value is of that one.
Yeah, this one's a tiger.
That's the one that's worth more. That one's not as, that one is not as what I would consider sort of too much going on. Better artistically, aesthetically, that one's the better piece. Thank you, Brian. So
thank you.
Nice pieces, my pleasure. Nice pieces, but you have to understand that. And I've been, of course, all over the world for years doing my appraisal show, and of course now virtually too, and in new venues that will be opening up again. But Brian saw me in the St. Louis area. Thanks for the fun chat on my cells and stuff the other day. I'm ordering the archival boxes via your site. You make learning fun, Katsy. Katsy, it's nice to talk with you in California, and I'm so glad that you found the Salander boxes. Thanks so much. You had some beautiful pieces because Katsy was taking care of people. So some folks who loved her wanted to leave her the things that they loved. So that's wonderful, and she's going to take care of them very well. Oh, Amanda, do I collect, please, Amanda? I mean, I've been loving objects for a long, long time, and there are things that I collect, yes. I've talked about my birdhouses before, unique, unusual, from all over the world. When I travel, I usually pick up a birdhouse or two. Very, very small. I don't collect a lot of different things.